We're going in with Meow and Giurardo. Meow bringing in Max Brass, as we just said. Very interesting. And we're going into DNA Lab. Okay.
Yep. So DNA Lab, you're gonna see the nade on the the nade and as you rightly said, it's gonna be the nade coming in first. So those of you who do not know the arms loadout, that nade is gonna be that big old explosive. It's unguided. One of the like 2 or 3 arms that are like that. You're gonna have to do that all manual, whereas everything else is somewhat honed in. And of course, Brass's big old buffs. The second they're up there, they're gonna pack a much harder punch. And of course, also with that ability of if they do jump into critical, they become perma-buffed the entire time, and it's always intimidating.
And this is something, again, DNA Lab was a super popular stage yesterday, and Meow was someone that was using it a lot. You got to see it when he got Max Brass out, and Max Brass, you know, he used it not only because it essentially you can cower behind it, and it was really good for him, but also if he needs to, he can just easily break it with his buff-ass body. And he's getting in that grab, something that Giurardo, even though he has Frost, hasn't been doing. And it's very interesting to me.
Yeah, to be fair, DNA Labs is such a big arena as is, and the tubes do not help, which is why you always see somebody bring a curved utility into this. So Ribbon with the slap, and of course, they freaking rang for Meow. But honestly, at this point, it's a big mountain to climb for Giurardo, back pretty much into the corner. And that is always a dangerous spot. Arm weak and down on the right-hand side. Managed to get to the table and the knock, but there's still a lot of work to do in the space of 10 seconds. And Max Brass is in a comfortable position, gets the freeze, but they're just going to shield it at this point. There's nothing Giurardo could do. Waste the rush. Going to break both arms, but it'll be too little, too late. And it's going to be the point initially for Brass.
Giurardo, the only thing that I'm seeing Giurardo has a weakness in is the points in which can be used to grab. There are really good moments where a grab would be really coming clutch, and just doesn't use it, and just tries to break through the shield with regular arming, and it's not gonna work.
You see the arm switch for Meow, drops the nade for the roaster, and big time rush damage, 325. Giurardo already down to halfway. Stun, grab combination. Brass is on fire here.
Giurardo's going to have to start using the little helixes to cower as much as they can. They have 64 seconds on the clock and very little health, and being able to, of course, also getting rid of that rush at the end of the last turn was a big mistake for them, not only because they completely got wasted, but because they could have used it at the beginning of this round. This match is all going to be about the ability to not get hit a single time, and Giurardo's doing an incredible job and still has that rush there. Keep, you know, just being able to use it afterwards.
Yeah, and there's just that little extra graze every now and then, but Brass now with rush charged up and ready to go. 30 seconds left on the clock. Trying to go for it, trying to bait them out, but again, yeah, the shield up again for Brass. Arm weak and down on the right-hand side. If only they hold on to the rush from there. And a swing and a miss. Brass gets the point and leads this set by 1 point to 0.
It was a great moment for a grab once again, and right at the end, it would have been such a clutch. I just don't see. In my mind, I don't understand. I mean, maybe I'm rooting for Giurardo. Giurardo, you got this, my guy. I mean, as a Meow, a fellow Master Mummy player, and a fellow what's the name, Max Brass player, who's been playing really good Max Brass during the last couple days. I can't help but, you know, empathize, because I also play those characters. But Giurardo, man, I want to see him get that W.
Well, we will soon find out in due time if Giurardo can find a way of bringing it back against a very strong Max Brass. We're going to see bans coming up already. Spring, Ribbon, Scrap, and Ramen all banned. So, interesting. Oh, also, both players have dropped initially. So it looks like we're having some technical issues. Hopefully we'll get that back up sooner rather than later. But already a solid...
I thought it was me.
Well, Yeah, you're fine. No.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Okay, yep. Goddamn. Let's see. Let me leave. Come back quick. This is what I was afraid of. Let's see. There we go.
There you
I
are, back.
mean, glad it
Okay.
hasn't happened during matches, but I was saying earlier, it's my Meow and Giurardo again. Same loadout. I think they maybe changed out the arms. That's what it can be. Oh no, they look to be the
No,
same.
I was gonna say Brass has got the same arms, of that there is no doubt. Giurardo coming in with the hottest of slaps and the tri-bolt. We are back at the 8A Labs for round 2 of our next losers round match.
Oh, and exploding the grenade arm on his face, Giurardo. Because you keep seeing him go for the side that has the that arm. Very, very smart. Drew Giurardo playing a great game with the grab, as I said. Woo! This is really, really good.
Yeah, already a lot bit more consistent hits here from Giurardo, but Brass is going to be patient, gets another stun. Wasn't able to capitalize on it this time round, but both Rift Rush available, and another hot slap find its way through. Brass goes for the swing first, lands with a 310.
Giurardo should get that rush out now, essentially, because it's all about, being able to match it to your opponents in order to be able to counter rush. It's always really, really good. So not using it at this point, I feel, unless you're trying to match it again, by not using it.
I think what Giurardo is waiting for is to try to get them down into KO ability and then fire in with the rush. Unfortunately, it is a swing and a miss. It's going to be chip damage and nothing more. And Meow knows that they've got the advantage now. Another quick little
failed grab
in the sky. And that puts Giurardo into critical. Meow has rush set and ready to go. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. And both are into critical, and that is where Brass is at their scariest. Watch that one hit straight through.
I mean, as we were saying yesterday, Max Brass looks, once they get below 10%, they start looking like a really, really very, very scary final boss character, which is what he is for this game, until, Dr. Coyle appeared.
Well, of course, because she is unstoppable. Sorry. Anyway, Brass is gonna come in with gonna come in with nothing. Yeah, Rivendell gets the grab, not Brass.
Dude, this might just be Giurardo's round. I'm just saying, it's all about, the pressure is on. Being able to explode that arm, the one that's always just right there waiting, because it's always charged with this ability, and being able to block that rush, dude. Giurardo's having back here. Getting that but it's always, I don't even know. I think Meow's just really, really good at blocking those arms.
Yeah, it's going to be chip damage and nothing more again, although Meow is almost into critical, but they won't worry too much about that because they know full well what Brass is capable of. Arm weak on the left-hand side. That is going to be a detriment to their cause here, and Rivendell can keep this up, gets the grab, and is going to tie this up initially. They have another chance to tie this setup.
That was a really, really good clutch because, again, Max Brass with that minus 10, below 10%, it's all about just, being able to, now that he is at super, super, super strong, it's all about, being able to not get hit, because just because they're in red doesn't mean it's over. Going with a rush.
Big old 310, bulks up as well. There's no tubes to hide behind. It's just an open field at this point, and Rivendell's got to use every little bit of that hot slap to try to find their way around Brass. And so far, they're keeping themselves in contention. They're just looking for an opportune moment for the rush. Gets it!
Finally gets it. I think Giurardo's done the rush like 6 times and hasn't landed a single time, but capitalizing the idea that he was on, Meow was still on the air. But the thing I've learned, Meow learned from last time, yesterday, when, he changed out of his chakram arms because there were no helixes anymore, and so that backfired, and he seems to have learned. But regardless, he cannot capitalize on the helices and thus does not get the dub this round.
So with
We get
that,
so that's how many games?
that is just our second game.
Oh, nice.
It is one apiece. It is all square in the set. Ribbon Girl finally managed to get themselves back into contention, fighting away around Brass, capitalizing on a little mistake here and there. They've both made their fair share, but they are both exceptional players at this caliber. They've gotten this far into the tournament for good reason, and now it's just about continuing to adapt to every little change that each other brings to the table. And we are already going to see bans popping on up, Sparring Spring, Mausoleum, and Sky Ban. We are heading to Temple Grounds. The first time in the set. We've seen it once already on stream. Giurardo did not do as well as they'd like to in Temple Grounds last time round, so we'll see if they can bring a little bit better game plan to the table this time around as they both lock in their respective characters. It's going to be the same as usual. Are there going to be any arm changes? Yes, there is. Look at Brass's side. We got a bub.
Ooh. Oh, with the bird. Okay. So Giurardo keeps their arms at the top. Oh, the block grab and then another grab in? Dude,
That was a very last second block of that grab. If that was the case, it is Meow who gets the better of the exchange and takes the initiative. And obviously that Firebird gonna do their lovely little work. It's not quite the same as the slaps. They've got their own mechanic in play for it. So again, Ribbon Girl having to adapt to the switch that Brass brings, and obviously pretty much all fire from everybody, with the exception of the tripod. It's the only non-fire arm here.
And of course, having to, you know, stay on the defense essentially. And Giurardo clearly is trying to go in for the offense, but Meow has just been so good at keeping on that offense. And as you know, the best defense is a good offense. So Giurardo is going in punch after punch and just trying to you know, fall back whenever needed. And Meow hasn't been able to land a single hit in a while now. And each of each other have not been able to land a single hit, mainly because, of course, also Meow's ability, which allows to, you know, not to be hit. This is going to be, oh man, Giurardo managed to you know, keep dodging every single attack, and of course with that tri-blast, this is going to be, you know, there's no place for Meow to run, and it's all coming down to that ability.
Well, 15 seconds left to go. Giurardo does have the lead for the time being. They're backed into the corner, managed to wiggle their way out.
Ooh.
10 seconds on the clock.
It's going
they
to
have
time.
the health lead. This could very well go to time, and it absolutely will. Ribbon Girl will just go all the way to the corner. They won't have to worry about too much here. Gets the shield up, and that will do it. They will win on health difference on time, and nothing Brass could do about it there. Just too far away.
I was gonna say, if he used Rush, maybe he could have, you know, put it to a nice degree, but also they're clearly saving it for this round, which is probably more important. Being able to get more than one Rush in a single round is very important.
Yeah, you capitalize on what you can with that, although those tri-bolts are putting in the time. Every single time Brass starts moving forward, it's either the bolt that stuns them or a charged up slap that immediately robs them of it, although they are managing to get their fair share of exchanges here. Another stun, but Brass rushes through it. 335 and
Giurardo
back under control.
Oh! You know, going over the grab, that was... Okay, that's crazy. This is crazy to me. Absolute insanity.
A cheeky little punch from Brass. That health gap is starting to come down, but another lovely roasted charge hit. Here comes the rush, but it's going to be chip damage and nothing more. It breaks a little bit, so a tiny bit of damage, and the arm's still weak on that left-hand side. It doesn't fully fade away, so Giurardo can continue the offensive, but Brass shuts them down. 1 HP and a dream for Ribbon Girl, but gets the grab. That'll take them into critical.
Can Giurardo make it? I don't know. Anything can happen. Oh, and gets the knockout. Ooh. Of course, being over beneath 10% is going to be very hard because Max Brass is just that much scarier. But we're going to final round. At this point, anything can happen. I feel like Giurardo has only gotten better as we've seen, as the stats have gone, and I don't know. I legitimately have no idea what's going to happen.
Another lovely little exchange for Ribbon. The rush comes out. They try to get away with it. Just about does so. The arm is weak on the left-hand side, so could be very worrisome for them, but they managed to get away with it, keeps their distance, and now they can think about going in and maybe grabbing a rush of their own. Maybe a grab first for good measure to break that health down just a little bit. Another bolt on into the rush. Good combination from the Ribbon.
Okay, it's good that it didn't go below 10%. He needs to be able to get a couple grabs in. Constant, as I said, a couple grabs in behind one after another, because if he manages to get that ability, it's going to be very, very bothersome, because there's just no time to be able to just stay grounded. No need to recharge those arms, and also hitting harder. This is going to be bad, especially if he gets in that rush. And he's getting in that rush. I feel like I'm a clairvoyant here. Holy.
Yeah, Brass in full max charge mode, especially on a map like this. The second they corner you, you have two options: block and get grabbed, or just get completely rushed on. At that point, Brass is just a wall, and it's very difficult to fight back from that. Giurardo did their best, but unfortunately,
He's not only a wall, he's a war machine. That's crazy to me. Just that split second in which you left it open to use the ability is always going to, bite you in the ass. And it's really, I can't. There has to be some way for Giurardo to go around this, right? I mean, how many? Currently, we're 2-1, right?
Yep, it is currently 2-1 to the Brass, to good old Meow. So we're going to see what Giurardo could bring to the table. We are going straight back to DNA Labs. So we're sticking with the pillars for this set. We've had DNA Labs twice, we've had Temple once, and we are now having DNA Labs for the third time. Could it be for the final time in this set, though, as Ribbon Girl looks to try to take the advantage against Brass, and Brass, I believe, is bringing a Hydra to the ring.
So changing up the arms once again, this time trying to go for that vertical height, which of course in the last time that Giurardo had someone to fight wasn't Meow, it was of course a Helix, but that came to be a problem because of that vertical height needed. Ooh.
But so far it is.
No, you go ahead.
Yep. Well, I'm weak on that right-hand side, but Brad's got to be a little careful. The bolts do land, but unfortunately Ribbon Girl is just a bit too far away to capitalize on it. And that's the thing you have to remember when you play stuff like that, although the ice is also going to land, and that just robs the abilities away from Brass for a short while. But again, can't fully capitalize on it. They're able to get these hits and bring the health down, but they're not able to get that second all-important follow-up punch, and Brass is literally dancing on critical right now.
And it's all going to be about that rush. Who's going to use that rush first? I feel like if Meow uses it first, Giurardo is going to be able to dodge away and then counter rush. And it's all going to be down to that, I feel. Because, of course, also Meow is very, very, very close to 10%. Keeps chipping away. It's going to be a problem. He needs to get in a grab or a rush. All about Giurardo. Giurardo just, yeah. Oh, no! The rush was completely...
Amazing play here for Meow, and the rush as well. That is absolute devastation, and just like that, Brass has the lead. I saw exactly what Giurardo was doing. They were trying to stall out the clock by hiding behind the tubes, and in a matter of 20 seconds, Brass has turned this around.
Completely.
And that is a stun. I think Brass still... No! Vertical got it!
What?
He swung at the last second. What? What a first opening match here.
It was the frogs that came in clutch, because at the end, Meow wasn't able to hit. That's crazy.
Wow.
Dude, this matches keep us on toes. I can never, as I said, I can never expect what's about to happen. And now there are a couple, I think there are 3 helixes left. 3 tubes left, and it's all going to be, for Meow, it's not going to be beneficial at all. It's all down to Giurardo and being able to capitalize on that the best that they can. Going in with the grab. Okay, Giurardo has to start being able to manage, keep count of Meow's health, because the second that it goes over that below that 10%, it's going to be hell. So he's gonna have to be able to learn how to chip away while still being able to see the movements, and that's gonna take a lot of brain power. I don't know if Giurardo can. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of power. I don't know if they can keep up. Layla, what do you think? I'm crazy here. I don't know what's happening.
Well, what's happening is another swing and a miss from them. Both get the trade on the knockdown. Armwinger left the side broken and down. Ribbon Girl is coming back to this pressure quite nicely and gets the grab as well. So Brass is the critical. And now both into critical. Neither of them have rush to it. Really just comes down to who can nail that finishing blow. Brass has the full perma and does get it. And ties it up yet again.
Round 1 here. That's... No, round 2. Round 2. Round 1 for Meow. Of course. Oh. But both playing at the defensive at the end there, and you can see that Giurardo's starting to learn about, being able to get those grabs in by the end. That's very, very nice. I cannot help but root for Giurardo. He has the rush. He's being hit with the rush, but it's all about whether he can get in those hits while still being able to keep in mind the amount of power that the amount of health that is being left on Meow.
Yeah. You have to remember the pressure is very much on Giurardo here. Remember, it is 2-1 in the set. Brass only needs one more victory here, and they're through. Arm weak and down. And that is going to be a detriment for Giurardo. They do have rush. Goes for it. It's going to be chip damage.
No.
We'll at least break it for a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with that, the more you wail on the shield, the quicker it charges up the rush for the other player. And Meow is now set and ready to go with one of their own.
Oh no, it breaks out. No, he was trying to use, Giurardo was of course trying to use the tube as leverage, and then of course went in with the rush and completely destroyed it. Completely meaningless. Zero was not even there. Giurardo now, oh no, Giurardo!
And that's gotta be that, my friend. That will be that. I believe that is 3-1 in. Yep, that is 3-1 in the set. That is Meow through to the next round to losers quarterfinal. And as a result, it is going to be the end of the road for the wonderful Giurardo. Put up an amazing display on both of the sets that they were featured on today. But unfortunately, that is going to be where their journey ends. Fantastic showing, though.